The signal has found you because you have reached the frequency of reception, no longer chasing distant secrets, no longer trying to pull the universe towards you, but shifting just enough to align with the information field that has always been broadcasting. The universe operates like an endless radio, waves of thought and emotion transmitted continuously, and anyone who tunes their inner world with precision will hear it. Here, now, you are hearing it. The ancient texts were never meant to provide fragmented knowledge. They were written to awaken a sleeping mechanism within human consciousness. Each metaphor, a key, each story, a neurological map. Yet the key only turns when the inner lock matches its shape. When your lived experiences, your core questions, and your honesty with yourself harmonize into the pattern of readiness, then the text becomes living technology, no longer words on paper, but activation moving through your entire being. This is not poetic mysticism, but the precise description of how consciousness communicates with the field of information. Every attempt to force it creates noise. Every act of returning inward refines the frequency. And when the frequency is pure, what you need appears as if it has been waiting for you, not earlier, not later, exactly when you are mature enough to hold it without breaking. Since childhood, you have been told that knowledge belongs to those who seek, that you must swim through the dark to find the light, yet your own history proves otherwise. The most important books appeared exactly when you were not looking. The conversations that changed your life came when your heart opened half a beat more. The teachers arrived unannounced, in the very moments you thought you had nothing left. That is not coincidence, it is resonance. Consciousness transmits, reality responds. Most people spend their lives trying to persuade reality to broadcast on their channel, turning up the volume of effort, repeating affirmations like rituals, but the only dial the universe listens to lies within, the one that adjusts presence, honesty, stillness, the capacity to distinguish noise from signal. When that dial turns to center, you no longer have to pull anything toward you. What belongs to you comes effortlessly, like water returning to its level. Readiness cannot be faked. Divine timing cannot be staged. For the intelligent field of reality does not read the story you tell about yourself. It reads the vibration you emit, how you handle failure, what you do when no one sees, how flexible your nervous system remains when facing the unexpected, even how you breathe when under pressure. It responds by arranging situations that match your frequency, giving you lessons that fit your level of awareness, and opening doors wide enough for you to walk through without being crushed. So when this message appears before you, the right response is not to look for more, but to pause long enough to acknowledge I have broadcast the right signal for what seeks me to recognize me. That acknowledgement is not for comfort, it is a command for recalibration. It tells your nervous system to lower its alarm, pulls your attention out of the loop of lack, and returns you to the observer state where you can finally see the difference between real movement and mental noise. Imagine it like this. The radio within you is always on, yet slightly detuned by the collisions of daily life. The stressful news you just read, the harsh comment you received, the regret over a decision you wish you could undo, all of that becomes interference. And interference makes reality sound like static. The natural reaction is to turn up the volume of belief, to force more effort, yet that only distorts it further. The true action is gentle, to turn the dial back to center through breath, by naming the emotion instead of resisting it, by allowing the body to release what it no longer needs. You do not add, you subtract, and in subtraction, you begin to hear again. The ancient text knew this, so they encoded it within their very structure. The impatient reader sees only a story. The moralist sees a lesson, but the awakened one hears a universal instruction hidden beneath the words. Once they hear it, they stop asking how many steps are required. They act naturally, because now their actions are pulled by the field, not pushed by fear. The difference is subtle, yet absolute. One drains, the other illuminates. You have experienced this before, those moments when you did not try but succeeded, when you did not push but everything opened, because you accidentally reached the stillness required for alignment. The signs were always there. Your heartbeat slowed when making the right choice. Your perspective widened, intuition became sharp, and the external world responded with precision. An email answered the same day. A partner called at the exact hour. A book fell open at your feet. None of this was magic. It was resonance. And resonance is simply the choice you make in every moment. From here, you can practice a subtle but powerful shift every day. Instead of asking how to achieve, ask how to become empty enough. For emptiness is not lack, it is space. When there are no obstacles, the signal passes through unscattered. You become a clear antenna, and the field entrusts you with what matches that clarity. The right work finds you, the right people appear, the right resources unfold, because you are sending the invitation not with words but with being. If you want a simple test now, relax your shoulders, let your tongue rest softly on the roof of your mouth. Take a deep but quiet breath in. Exhale slowly and smoothly, and silently affirm, I am hearing the frequency meant for me. Then notice two things: how your body softens and how your attention slides away from old thoughts into the still point at the center of your chest. When that point brightens, you are ready for the deeper layers, not because your mind understands, but because your state does. From that state, every practice becomes effective. Gratitude is no longer ritual, but a way of keeping your frequency centered. Even a comment or a small gesture of connection becomes more than a social act. It becomes an anchor for the new signal within a shared field. A single genuine acknowledgement can lift another person out of their static, and that act refines your own signal as well. Let this closing image be your quiet activation. Look back on the past month and name one moment when what you needed arrived exactly on time, not early, not late, just right. Acknowledge that this timing saved you from excess, and write simply, I am ready to receive what is seeking me. Say it not as a mantra, but as a recognition. So your body hears it, the field hears it, the next doorway hears it, for the signal always finds the one who is open. And right now, you are open. There is a treasure not meant for you to find, but for it to find you, because the universe hides nothing. It only waits until you reach the point where you can hold it without dropping. When you are ready, everything begins to find its way towards you, like a door that opens without anyone needing to knock. The book of the universe operates by this law. It does not exist in linear time. It lives in resonance. And the wonder is that you cannot discover it through effort, only through alignment. Have you ever felt that precise moment when something so coincidental made you stop for a breath? A meeting that seemed random but changed your life. A single phrase that shifted your entire way of seeing. A sign that appeared just when you were about to give up, and you realized nothing was ever random. Everything was arranged with the accuracy of light, waiting for you to arrive at the exact point of readiness. The ancients understood this. They did not write to preach, they wrote to awaken. Every line in the old text was encoded like a circuit, dormant until the reader reached stillness, until the inner frequency aligned. Then words became energy, concepts became awareness, and awareness became life. You were not learning knowledge, you were being transmitted a frequency. In this very moment, if you are hearing these words and feel a subtle wave rising within your chest, as if something inside you is opening, that is resonance. It means you have reached the stage where the invisible book begins to read you, not the other way around. Reality is not a store where you buy what you want. It is an energy market where each item appears only to those mature enough to perceive it. That is why many people witness the same event, hear the same message, but only one is truly touched, because only that one vibrates at the frequency needed to activate the code within the experience. When you understand this, you stop forcing, stop pleading, stop doubting, and start trusting gently that what you need is already on its way, not because you chase, but because you open. The moment of opening is never loud. There are no fireworks. It is the quiet realization that everything is in its right place, that waiting is not delay, but part of the rhythm of the cosmos. Now, I want to ask you something only you can answer. Are you truly ready to let what is seeking you find you? Not ready in thought, but ready in your whole being. Ready to stop resisting, stop controlling, stop believing you must know everything before it unfolds. Ready to trust that life is infinitely wiser than your plans. Ready to receive instead of demand, because that is the first step of transformation. If somewhere inside your heart a small sound just echoed, even a single pulse, let that be your answer. And if you feel you are ready to step into a new frequency, leave a sign below, write "I am ready," or even just the number 1, so I know you are truly here in this conversation. So I know I am not speaking into the void, that beyond this screen there is a soul resonating, wanting to grow with me. That signal for a creator like me is worth more than any number, because it proves these words are alive, that they are reaching, transmitting, and transforming. The universe does not require you to be perfect before you receive. It only requires you to be honest, because honesty is the frequency of readiness. Honest with your fear, honest with your uncertainty, honest with what you truly desire, even when you are afraid to admit it. That honesty opens the door of awareness, where what seeks you can finally see you clearly. The book of the universe I speak of is not out there, it is within you. Every experience is a page, every pain, a line of text, every breakthrough, a chapter being written. When you become still enough to reread, you realize the lessons were always there. You just read too fast before, driven by fear or ambition, so the letters never revealed their form. But today, with this stillness, the words begin to glow. The meaning unfolds itself. Readiness is not a state of action. It is a quality of perception. When you enter the flow of the universe, you see life move like a symphony already composed. Every note has its place, every silence its own worth, and you no longer need to rush the tempo. You simply listen, understand the rhythm, and join in. From that harmony, true peace begins. I want you to pause for a moment, take a deep breath, feel your palms open, not gripping, just open. That is the symbol of readiness. A hand that does not hold can receive. A heart without defense can hear. A mind that stops trying to understand can finally know. That simplicity is the oldest technology of the soul. If this is touching something inside you, do not hold it back. Leave a small sign below, write "I am ready," or simply 1, because this act is not for me, it is for you. It is a declaration between you and yourself, between your soul and the intelligent field that listens, that you choose not to delay anymore, that you choose to step into the new frequency here and now. And I, from this side of the screen, thank you deeply for showing me that the signal I send does not fade into nothing, that somewhere out there, someone is listening with me, opening with me, remembering with me what our souls have always known, long before we forgot. The reality you live in is not still. It vibrates across thousands of parallel frequencies, like layers of invisible light stacked over one another. Yet the human eye can only see a narrow band of the spectrum, and consciousness works the same way. It only perceives the possibilities that match its current frequency. Truth is never hidden. It is always here, waiting for you to become refined enough to see it. Like infrared light, it surrounds you, moves through you, shines every second, but without the instrument to perceive it, you believe it does not exist. The universe is never lacking. Only your clarity is. When awareness shifts, reality itself does not change. Only the angle of perception does. And since you are the center of that angle, when it changes, the whole world rearranges around you. Everything you once called luck, coincidence, intuition, or destiny is simply a moment when you happen to tune into the right frequency. That is why one person can walk into a room and feel inspired while another feels empty. Why one person reads a passage and weeps while another feels nothing. Because reality does not send messages in words, it speaks in vibration. And only those who resonate with that vibration receive its signal. Within the architecture of the universe, everything exists as potential, waiting to be activated by the observer. You do not create something new. You select from infinite possibilities and bring one into manifestation. When you focus, that potential collapses from superposition into existence. Physics calls this the observer effect. Mystics call it co-creation. There is no miracle here, only science at a more subtle layer. Your consciousness is the lens. It decides which wavelength of light you are illuminating in this endless ocean of radiance. And every emotion, thought, and belief is a command to that lens. It opens or closes, chooses light or shadow, and the world you see is not reality itself, but the reflection of your chosen setting. When you believe life is difficult, you narrow the lens and see only obstacles. When you believe everything is a lesson, the lens widens and obstacles turn into opportunities. Same situation, two realities, because two frequencies, and the frequency is you. Look back on your life. There were moments when everything aligned effortlessly, when pieces fell into place without planning, when inspiration arrived perfectly timed, when opportunity knocked softly and you felt light instead of heavy, as if an invisible hand was guiding the flow. That is when you were in rhythm with the field. In those moments, you were not trying to control, you were simply present, not thinking about the past, not fearing the future, not demanding, not doubting, just here. And here is the only coordinate where the universe can transmit its signal. The past is gone, the future is unformed, only the present carries the active wave of creation. When your mind drifts away, you leave the frequency. Like stepping out of the broadcast room, the signal does not stop, you just stop hearing it. Every master from the ancient world said the same thing, that the doorway of the soul is not far away. It lives inside your breath. The breath is the bridge between matter and spirit, between the visible and the unseen. When you inhale, you are not just taking in air, you are absorbing information, because air holds energy and energy carries data. Every breath you take is a data packet from the universe. If you breathe in tension, the data distorts. If you breathe in stillness, the data arrives pure. This is how the body becomes the receiver of consciousness. When you understand this, you begin to treat each breath as a sacred exchange, not survival, but communication. And in that communication, you are not only receiving energy, you are also sending it. Every thought you hold transmits through your breath into the field, creating a signal, and the field responds by arranging situations that mirror your transmission, giving you the chance to read your own frequency through experience. The universe does not judge, it reflects. It does not reward or punish. It repeats the frequency you emit until you change the music. That is why when you begin to observe instead of react, you reclaim your creative authority. You stop being a victim of circumstance and become the navigator of your energy. Imagine reality as a vast silk tapestry, every thought a thread, every emotion a color, every action a stitch. Your entire life is the fabric being woven in real time. If some parts look distorted, you do not need to cut them out. You simply weave a new thread, shift the vibration, and the pattern self-corrects. This is the art of living for those who know they are not separate from the field, they are the field. Once you realize this, you stop seeking power, you become power itself, not through control, but through presence. A truly present being does not need to convince anyone of what they believe, because their energy is proof. Wherever they go, the air changes, people feel calm without knowing why, because that person is radiating the original frequency of life, the vibration, all things recognize and long to return to. This is the final stage of awakening, not knowing more, but knowing less so you can feel more, not trying to change the world, but becoming the world already changed. When you reach that depth of awareness, old questions lose their weight. You no longer ask when or how. You only ask, who am I in this experience? And that question does not need an answer, because asking it is already the answer. You have returned to the center of yourself. At that center, life is no longer a series of events, but an ongoing symphony where every note has its place, and you are both the listener and the musician, both the creator and the created. In that silence, everything becomes clear, not because you understand more, but because you have stopped needing to understand. You simply see, simply listen, simply exist, and suddenly the world becomes transparent. Every object glows from within, as if the light had never left. It was only waiting for you to open your eyes. In that invisible expanse where layers of frequencies drift like colorless winds, there exists an ancient marketplace, absent from any map, where the goods are not material but vibrational, and the merchants trade not with money but with the readiness of the soul. The story begins with a woman named Jessica Martinez, a craftswoman who lived at the crossing between two worlds, a place where ideas had not yet become form, where light had not yet chosen its vessel. She did not trade gold or silver but strange artifacts, objects crystallized from the memories of stars, from fragments of dreams yet unborn, from the unfinished light of souls that had not dared to shine. People called this marketplace the resting place of wishes, and Jessica was the keeper of treasures that awaited readiness. She laid before her transparent jars, mirrors that reflected not faces but essence, rings hazy like morning mist, each item seemingly waiting for someone she had never met. Visitors to the market were captivated. They longed to own. They tried to pay with coins, with jewels, with promises, yet everything they offered dissolved in her hands. Gold turned to dry leaves, silver to vapor, gemstones to dust, and not a single item could be bought. Years passed and Jessica began to believe she was cursed, that she was a failure among merchants, that her goods had no worth. She changed her displays, tried persuasion, tried to make people understand, but the harder she tried, the emptier the market grew, until one day she was alone among her shimmering wares that seemed to breathe softly, as if they knew a secret she did not. Then a traveler appeared, his face serene, as though he had crossed lifetimes to reach this place, his hands empty, his eyes deep as an ancient well, holding no ambition, only quiet, weariness, and a longing that words could not touch. He did not browse, did not haggle. He simply stopped before a simple copper bowl that countless others had dismissed as worthless. And then it happened. The bowl began to hum, not with sound, but with presence. A fine light traced its rim, pulsing in rhythm with the man's heartbeat, then dissolved into the air, spreading across the marketplace until all other objects fell silent, as though bowing in recognition. Jessica stood frozen. The coins the traveler held did not vanish. They remained solid and heavy, as if minted from some material unknown, something made of resonance itself. As she received them, she felt their weight, not of metal, but of alignment. When the man took the bowl and walked away, she understood what she had sought all her life. Her creations were never refusing to be sold. They were refusing to be sold to those not ready. Each item carried within it a unique signature, a vibrational code imprinted at its birth, and only when a soul perfectly matched that frequency did the object become truly real. In that instant, Jessica realized she had never failed. She had been guarding treasures awaiting their rightful keepers. The market was never empty. It simply remained unseen until resonance occurred. And each time a soul reached readiness, the door reopened, the wares returned to visibility, and a silent transaction of spirit took place. This is how the universe operates. Everything you seek already exists, but it will not take form until you align with its frequency, not through begging, but through harmony. The moment you become the version of yourself capable of holding that gift, it appears, not early, not late, but in perfect timing. Every trial, every loss, every detour you have faced has been a calibration, fine-tuning your vibration, just as Jessica's hands were refined over time until she could touch light without being blinded by it. And when she finally understood, she stopped selling, stopped striving, simply sat in stillness, polishing each item with her breath, preserving their purity for the next arrival. No one knew when that would be, but it was certain. This story is the mirror of your life. The opportunities you think you have lost are still somewhere on the counter of the soul's marketplace, waiting for you to be still enough to see, humble enough to receive, and honest enough not to pretend readiness. You cannot deceive the universe, for it does not listen to your words. It listens to your frequency. It reads your emotions more clearly than you read your thoughts, and it never mishears. When you emit the vibration of lack, it returns experiences of lack, not to punish, but to help you hear the song you are sending. When you emit the vibration of sufficiency, it mirrors that back through people, opportunities, and synchronicities, not to surprise you, but to confirm that you are finally in rhythm. That is the language of the field. Once you begin to see life as a marketplace of frequency, everything changes. You stop blaming, stop comparing, stop waiting, because you understand that no one can steal what belongs to your vibration, and no one can take your timing. There are only those who arrive earlier or later on the path of refinement. And the miracle is, when you stop fearing loss, you become the most receptive, because your hands are open. Jessica became the embodiment of trust. She no longer needed to prove her worth, because she knew everything truly hers would find her. And you, if you can stay silent long enough to hear the smallest inner hum when something draws near, you too will realize the dreams you thought were distant have been standing beside you all along, waiting for you to nod in recognition. The moment Jessica realized that her creations had never rejected anyone, but had only been waiting for the right one, was the moment her consciousness surpassed the limits of effort. She no longer saw life as a sequence of failures, but as the universe's subtle filtration system, where only what resonates is allowed to meet. The universe has never been a realm of randomness, but a perfect resonance network. It does not trade in currency, it trades in frequency. When your soul reaches coherence, everything aligned with you appears effortlessly, softly, without force. And when you are not yet ready, what you desire, even if it stands before you, slips through like water through your hands. So what you think of as rejection is often protection, the universe's gentle way of saving something for when you can hold it without breaking. Everything is calibrated with astronomical precision. But have you ever stopped to ask yourself, are you truly ready to receive what you keep asking for? Or are you only wanting to fill the void, to prove your worth, to soothe the hunger born from fear of lack? If what you desire still grows from fear, then when it arrives, it will not come as a gift, but as a test. The universe does not judge, but it reads your true frequency clearly. It does not listen to what you say, it listens to what you vibrate. Maybe you have wondered why you work so hard, try so much, yet feel stuck. Perhaps you are not wrong in action, only misaligned in frequency. And that frequency is not in your words, but in your presence. One person may speak with confidence, yet radiate fear. Another may stay silent, yet emit pure trust. And the universe responds only to energy, not the shell of appearance. Look back at what you once prayed for. How many of those things were you truly ready to keep? If it arrived right now, would you be mature enough not to drop it, not to panic, not to sabotage it with old patterns? Are you brave enough to receive what you once believed you were unworthy of? Are you calm enough to hold joy without letting fear pollute it? Because sometimes what you pray for is already at your door, waiting only for you to stop fearing long enough to let it in. And maybe that moment is now. Maybe you are hearing these words because your frequency is just aligned with the opening point, where what you need begins to find you, where seeking ends and receiving begins. I want to ask you something gentle, intimate. Do you dare to believe that you are ready to let the good come in, that you no longer need to push harder, prove more, that you can receive simply by being present right now? If the answer in your heart is yes, even for a second, leave a small sign below. Write, I am ready, or simply the number 1. So I know you are here. So I know I am not speaking alone in this vast stream of energy. So I can feel you, the one choosing to enter a new frequency with me. For a creator like me, each sign like that is not feedback. It is living proof that connection is happening, that among millions of waves, 2 frequencies have crossed at the exact moment. I am deeply grateful for that, because in this world, true presence is the rarest gift, and you are offering it to me. But more than that, you are offering it to yourself. Each time you declare readiness, you send a signal to the universe, a clear, pure signal, free from fear and confusion. That signal is an invitation for aligned experiences to appear, not because you are more deserving, but because you have opened the door. And to the universe, opening is the most sacred act. It is not loud or dramatic. It is a deep surrender, an unconditional allowing. When you reach that state, you no longer need to find the ancient marketplace to reclaim your soul, because you are that marketplace. Every treasure you have ever dreamed of is already within you.